My name is Deception. I am currently a streamer and content creator, and I'm also the director of esports for the Scorpion Syndicate.
It's fine. It is what it is. I just came off the top rope and threw that at him. We are toying with these kids, dude.
So my introduction into gaming was because my mom and dad bought me a PlayStation 2 when I had to be like 4 or 5 years old. I mean, talking about this just it makes me think I've been playing games for 20 years. But I was like 4 or 5 years old and I got a PS2. I initially started playing a bunch of racing games. That was what I was into initially. I played mostly racing games or sports games because I love racing and I loved like stuff like basketball, so I had a lot of NBA games. But it wasn't until about 2013 that I started playing shooter games, which is mainly what I play now. And that sort of leads into my introduction to esports, because as I got into shooter games, started to play COD, I very quickly realized what esports was. I initially started watching FaZe because I was really a big fan of them because of sniping. That really kind of got me hooked on COD. But the first esports event I ever watched was UMG Philadelphia in 2014, which is unfortunately the event that Big Timer retired. But first event I ever watched was UMG Philly in 2014. And then because of the whole Optic drama and like dark ages of Optic, I became an Optic fan, weirdly enough. And I've been watching esports since then. I've competed in a couple events. I actually competed in a local event during Call of Duty Ghosts in 2014, like a couple months after the first time I watched an event. I finished third in that one. And I have been on a couple different orgs. And even during my time in one org, I competed with some of my friends in a small COD league in Cold War. We only ended up playing one series and lost 3-2, and then left the league because the league wouldn't abide by GAs. But it is what it is. I mean, the Scorpion Syndicate was a sort of like Tone led the way, obviously, but I feel like it was very much a collaborative effort, because Tone and I were fresh off of an org and we wanted to do things differently. We wanted to do things better. And we sat down in many calls and we were just like, we were trying to think, we were like, how can we do this better? Like, what org could we get on to make things better? And then we just came to the conclusion that it probably would be best for us to just start one, because what better way to lead the pack and make things better than to just carve your own path? So, I mean, it was mainly Tone's doing, but yeah, I feel like it was a pretty collaborative effort to create the Scorpion City and be where we are today. Really, the biggest thing is I just want to stream and make content and be sustainable off of it. Like, I've always had the mindset that I don't have to be like the most popular streamer. Like, I don't have to be a Ninja or a Tim Tat Man or a Scump or a Nade Shot. Like, I just want to be able to sustain myself and be able to be like, I can make content and stream and stuff and make a living off of it to where that's what I do. If I can make it like my full-time job and make sure that I can live off of it, I'm happy. From a competitive side, since I'm obviously going to be trying to compete in X Defiant, I've never really fully competed in a game, like given a game my full time, but I do want to do that with X Defiant. I genuinely think that if I put my head down and I play enough that I can compete with the best players based on the playtime that I have and my experience in the game. Now, will that pan out? Who knows? I guess we'll find out. But no matter what happens, I'm going to give it everything I got. Outside of gaming, honestly, I don't do a lot. I mean, when I'm not streaming and playing games, I'm usually playing games with other people. Or, I love watching YouTube videos. Obviously, like, because I make content, I've loved watching YouTube videos and stuff for a long time. But I love just randomly browsing the YouTube recommended section sometimes and just finding videos. And outside of that, it's mainly just like looking at social media and other like content creators and stuff. Like, I just like watching all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't even really watch television anymore, outside of like when NASCAR is on. I live at my setup either playing games or watching something. My name is Deception276 on all socials, and we do the Climb Together podcast every Wednesday. 99% of the time it's at 12 p.m. EST. Sometimes we will take a week off because of whatever, or maybe change the time, maybe depending on a guest or whatever. But anytime that happens, we'd let you know.